30 seconds.
Oh, too late. We're
Too late. We're live.
Hey everyone, it's the one and only notorious glorious V, the Guerrilla Economist, and we are live with the main guys of the Crypto Coalition. Got Crypto Cowboy,
who stepped away for a minute, I think. Every time you say the notorious, I want to yell proper 12.
Proper 12! Proper 12! Proper Irish whiskey man! Proper Irish man!
I'm here too. This is Frank.
And Frank. Frank's here. Hey, Frank.
Hey.
Cowboy just stepped away. A lot of things going on in the mickety market, man. A lot of things going on.
Man. Yeah, man.
All right, guys.
Sorry about that. You know what? While we're warming up, V.
Yeah.
You remember that? I don't know if you want to disclose this now, but the text I sent you earlier from another certain well-known YouTuber.
Frank, it's okay, Frank. We know that you're gay. It's okay.
Oh my God.
So
how are you gonna? This is terrible, Nick.
I know. I just took his thunder on that.
You're killing me.
What were you saying from a YouTuber?
So I said so the thing I put in our Telegram
on YouTube. What the fuck? What the fudge?
Fudge.
I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry.
Killing me, man. Killing me. How you doing, Cowboy? I haven't talked to you yet today.
Good. I spent I got up as I do on the weekdays. I got up about 3:45 a.m. and I saw the algos flipping on Bitfinex from sell to buy, and I saw that 50 million in Tether was printed, and I told everybody in the room, and of course I told them that I don't play in those kind of pumps, but that I expected to run this morning on Finex up to about 4,900, 5,100 tops. Drew a chart, and it went where I said it would go. And then I drew a second chart about where I think it would fall to, and it fell to there. So, you know, I don't play in bot algo pumps as often. If like 300 million were printed in Tether, I might have played.
Sounds like an EDM band. Bot algo pumps.
Bot algo pumps, dude. It's like it's awesome. It's one of the new clubs that you like to go to out there in San Fran. But anyway, sorry to push that one. But essentially so a bunch of people in the room were very entertained by the information. I let them know that I'm not going to be playing that game because when bots pump, bots dump. And it was interesting that right at the top of that, we now get the news that backed BAKKT, which was one of the first, like, I want to say it's a crypto custody, exchange ETF type thing. I don't know, not ETF, but it's like basically a trading solution. Frank, you might have more info on that.
Big banker way to get into the market.
Yeah, big banker way, and maybe you have some info on that, but I won't talk about that. I'll let you do that. But what I will say is that when that news came out, and that's when the little pump ended, and I just found that rather conspicuous. In fact, I'm pretty much sure that the reason that price falls has little to do with news. It's just kind of like helping to push it along without having the market makers having to spend money for it to fall. They just put news out. It's kind of free for them.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what happened this morning. That, and I'm putting together the set list for my my wedding here that I'm having on Saturday.
Set list for what? For the band?
No, I'm actually just
giving Saturday, huh? Wow.
It's Saturday. Yeah, it's I'm putting together the music for the DJ. I've got DJ. Yeah, so music's a big part of my life, and man, I'm pulling from like the 70s and 80s, heavy on the funk.
Nice. We want the funk.
Oh, you always want the funk, dude.
Well, congratulations, man. We're very excited for you.
Thanks. Thank you. Yeah. So that's
what's brother. A man is not complete until he's married. Then he's finished.
That's great.
Awesome.
It's awesome. So this is Watch and Learn Tuesdays, and typically we look at 2 or 3 recent trades that went well. But again, today is another. This has been a very volatile week. And so I don't want to keep people waiting on just getting your take on what's happening in the market right now, Cowboy.
Sure. I'm just my screen on Do Not Disturb, and then I'm going to share up so everybody can see.
Yeah, let's start there, and then we'll look if you have a couple of trades you want to go over. Today's show is sort of educational in that we look into the past. So Thursdays on Visual Trading Thursday, we look at indicators just. Or stuff about trading. It's just straight old this is this, and we learn about it. But on Tuesdays, we look at recent trades and talk about the logic behind them, what happened, what we were expecting, what we didn't expect, etc., and look at them. So we'll do that in a few minutes. But for now, Cowboy's going to talk us through this crazy week we're having so far in the crypto markets.
Sure. Now, did we post the show link anywhere for everybody to get in yet?
Not yet. I know
that some of the guys and gals in the room were asking about like entries and things like that.
Yeah. Let me. I'll do that momentarily.
And then in the meantime, as far as the Frank will post link. So with the volatility, I mean, what it seems to me has kind of happened, in a short way of explaining it, they have slammed Bitcoin down so hard that nobody wants to buy it.
I want to buy it. Well, I want to buy all the Bitcoin.
Yeah, we have people who talk to us about buying all of the Bitcoin pretty regularly. It's
selling all the Bitcoin, buying all the Bitcoin.
Yeah, I mean, all of it. But the reality is that, I mean, okay, so strictly my opinion right now, if somebody had a gun to my head and said, you need to be either in or out for the next 4 months, I would buy right now. That's not how I trade, but that would be the decision I would make. Now, are you able to see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, so basically,
at least I can on the actual YouTubes, which I finally just got on.
Awesome. I think that we're closer to the bottom now than we were 2 days ago, which is a dumb thing to say because we've gone down. So I don't mean to state the like nasty obvious, but I think if you look at the long-term order blocks from the past, 3,000 is kind of the meme number that gets thrown around. So basically, that's what's in people's minds. That's what's been in people's minds. Dex, God bless him, called that it would go down to 44. It actually went down to 42, and then it wicked down to 42, and then it hung out at 44. So we're at that point where Dex is currently correct. It's this little pump this morning, like it could be that's their way of trying to entice people into the market. Like, hey, it's not going to go down any further from here, blah, blah, blah. I'm not so convinced. However, I've been not so convinced and wrong in the past. So what I usually look for the end of a real bad fall is, let me bring up a chart. Nice hourly open. What am I looking at my notes from last night? Oh, this is from this morning. This is the chart that I posted, in the room. So yeah, just so everybody can kind of see what I predicted here pretty much happened. I started right here at this dip. I pointed up. We had a nice hourly open, and I said it would kind of go forward and then up to this level and down. It didn't go forward. It went straight up. So I was a little off on my timing, but it capped out. See the solid arrow is where my strongest prediction is, and it pretty much did that. It's on the way. Now, it may not go down past here. Now, it may simply stop where it is and head up. So that's kind of where that is. I just wanted to show a little bit of show off. You can't blame a person like myself or Dex for wanting to show when they're either partially right or really, really right on. Like I said, Dex right now is scary right. And in fact, the guys in the room are talking about Dex. I'm like, dude, that guy's like scary right on a lot of his stuff. So for those of you who don't know, he's on Tuesdays still, right? V's actually may not be able to hear us right now.
Yes, he is. He is usually on Tuesdays, which has been schedule's been kind of crazy, but he will be back on his regularly scheduled programming.
Yeah, just let everybody know if Dex is legit. I actually went on to his algos and stuff, and he has like these points where he says the institutionals are going to dump, or they'll stop run, or they'll do things at this time in the market. And 2 different calls in a row on Forex, he was absolutely correct. So just letting everybody know Dex is legit. I even use some of his language, sometimes, but I always give him a hat tip for it. So let's look here at Bitcoin historically. Going to go to the daily chart. We're going to look for what I look for when I think a bottom is in, a midterm bottom. I'm going to put in the RSI, and we're going to make it easy to see because it's not always easy to see. Okay, so I've really highlighted the RSI here, And with the RSI, what I usually see is what's called a bullish divergence, where the RSI kind of sort of does like a double bottom and then heads up. I'm going to make this a little more precise right here.
That's nasty looking.
Yeah, that is nasty looking. So what we have, like
blood dripping down a wall.
yeah, well, it kind of is. So what we're looking at here is like, this is a pretty good example. You have, I'm going to zoom in here in a second, but I'm going to draw that, and I'm going to draw, yeah, this is a good one. And I'm going to draw, this is a good one here. And now everybody in the room, I just kind of got everybody last night into a group, a separate group. Frank created the room this morning. Thank you, Frank. You're the man. We're going to be doing.
I agree. I concur.
You're the man, right?
Nah.
No.
I'm all right. I'm all right.
You're the man with the van. I need to stop that. So we have 1, 2, 3 bottoms right here. 1, 2, 3 bottoms. And with them, we have bullish divergences. So what's a bullish divergence? To put it very, very simply, price goes down, the bottom of your relative strength index goes up. So relative strength index is exactly what it sounds like. It's talking about the strength of your asset. So buyers are kicking in. So not buyers, I don't want to use that terminology, but buying pressure is ramping up. Now, if buying pressure is ramping up and price is headed down, then that's a bullish divergence, and that means you're going to springboard, and that's what happened here. Of course, there was a tether print and a few other things, but same with this, right? So I'm going to actually zoom in so we can see these a little bit better. So these are one of the things in my back testing that I look for, and I think any trader who doesn't back test is like just asking to get murked. I mean, back testing is what all of your best traders do, your professional traders. They back test at least to a degree. Your technical traders, if they're not back testing, they're losing. I'm sorry. It's just, you show me a professional trader who's winning, I will bet you all of the Bitcoin that they're back testing. And so what we're doing is a very basic back testing exercise. And that's what this new room in our Watch This Trade room is made for. It's made for everybody to collectively back test and kind of learn what that process is. So these are 3 of your major bottoms. You have RSI going up, price going down in the same breadth, if you will. Same here, same there. Same here, same there. And what happens after these events? Price goes up. And these are after your 3 major dumps. So that would be a very simple back test. We actually need to go back quite a bit more. But there are a lot of things we're looking at. I know Yo Mammy in the room actually did some really good analysis on this because, I talked about back testing a few days ago, and I said, okay, who here wants to do this? And Yo Mammy jumped right on it. He's become one of our best traders in the room, actually. And so basically he did find some other things that we're not going to talk about here on the show, but that we are going to talk about in the room as to what to look for at the bottom of these things, whether or not it's a real bottom, whether or not we're going to get dumped on, whether or not the bottom is in and we can actually like buy and trade up. But one thing that happened in all 3 of these bottoms that's really important is that it hit hard, it went lower, and then it went like lower. Now, this is kind of a funky one because you have this kind of lower little candle right there, but I'm just going to go ahead and call that a divergence the way I did it, right? Now, we haven't seen that yet here, that's for sure. We just have lower, lower. Now, this is the deepest RSI I think that Bitcoin has ever seen. I had somebody say 12. Yeah, I think it 12, 10, RSI this low on, this is on Coinbase, I believe. Might be on Finex. But either way, this is deeply, deeply, deeply oversold. And that kind of thing happens when there's just manipulation in the market. Generally, you don't see things get that oversold. It's either manipulation or it's capitulation, which usually one leads to the other. So, we're right now going to be paying attention to these dumps. Take it down to the 4-hour chart. We do have this would actually technically be those were, I think, hidden bullish divergences. This would be just an outward, not so hidden. I can't remember which is hidden, which is not. They're both bullish. This is
He'll take either one.
Yeah, either one.
It's bullish.
You know, I've been up since 3:45. Screw off. But yeah, you have the price going lower, but you have the relative strength index not going lower. So actually, it's going higher if you take it from back here. So that this is a clue where the buying pressure is ramping up over this, 24-hour, 36-hour space, whatever this is. I don't know. Let me see, the 14th of November through the 20th. So yeah, a few days. The buying pressure is ramping up, and that's before the big pump this morning, by the way. And the selling pressure is going down. But I'm very careful with this one because this might have gone deeper had the algos and the bots not kicked in. So this wouldn't be natural, organic market pressure causing this divergence. So, this is I don't want to get any deeper than this because we have watch and learn. I guess this is watch and learn today. We're learning.
Yeah, no, this is important. In fact, if I want to bring V in. This is something we were sort of chatting about earlier, and this is from Jeff Berwick this morning on his Facebook. He was saying that the total market cap went below 150 billion, which he said he'd feel comfortable buying under that level at some point in the past. I don't know when. He said, and of course Jeff's a friend of the show. He's been on with V a few times. Let's see how things shake out this week. The stock market looks on the verge of collapse. If so, it could take cryptos below 100 billion. And he says, quote, at which time I'll be borrowing money to buy. So sent that to you earlier, V. What's your take on that? What are your thoughts about what's going on with all this and everything Cowboy just said?
Anybody who's been following me for quite some time knows that this market ain't going to be crashing anytime soon. There's no crash coming. It's a bunch of BS. I say it. Dex says it. This thing it's not going to crash down. It's going to crash up. We're going to have a higher and higher Dow 29,000, Dow 30,000. Get ready. It's going to happen. That being said, there's a lot of crash signals that are in the market. Okay, that's not discount that. And what that's doing, it's providing a smoke screen for the real big boys to take profit. What you're seeing on this pullback is the big boys are taking their profit, and they're coming in. They're going to reposition and ride this bad boy right back up. What is the biggest deal that's facing? What is the biggest situation facing the stock market, the bond market, all the in every single sector? What is it? It's yield. It's liquidity. Well, how do you inject more liquidity in? Well, you want to ride it up to the next level, but you don't want a lot of these players, especially a lot of the big players that are leaving the bond market. Okay, the bond market have some serious situations going on over there. Leaving the bond market and getting into the stock market, they don't want to get in at 26, 27, 28,000. No, they want to get in at 24. They want to get in at 20. And so we see the same thing happening with cryptos. You're going to see the same thing happening with gold. You're going to look for a slight beat down in the gold price, probably get back down to 1150 to 1275. That's the range I'm looking at. Silver probably get hit. You're going to see it probably beat down at 15 or 16 bucks an ounce. These are real possibilities. Why? Because everybody's getting positioned. Because the real boom, folks, the real boom is 2019. I could smell it, I could feel it, I could taste it. We're looking for a real massive turnaround and a real explosion come. I'd say by February.
In cryptos, you're talking?
No, everything. Cryptos, stocks, gold. It is going to rocket. And when I say rocket, I'm not talking about 200,000 Bitcoin and then $50,000 gold. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about 8,000 Bitcoin, 9,000 Bitcoin. I'm talking about 1,500, 1,600 gold is a very real possibility. Between 1,492 to 1,530 is what I'm looking at for gold. I'm looking at silver prices probably broaching the $21 barrier right there. Maybe even getting up to 24. Stock market will be at 26 to 27,000 on the Dow. These are some of the numbers we're looking at. Why? Because what you're not seeing behind the scenes, apart from all the charts and the numbers, is the sharks. You're not seeing the sharks on the back end. They are circling. They're getting positioned. They are ready to feed. It's going to be a feeding frenzy come 2019, guys. So get ready.
Hey, V, so what's cool, V is, and Frank, they're both really good family men. I don't bug these guys on the weekend for nothing. And I got some information from somebody I know at a dealership here in LA. Come to find out, they're like selling cars to anybody. Like you could have a credit score of 380 and make a job, and no offense to people.
We know a few people like that.
Yeah, we do. We help them with that.
We help them out.
You could have like a terrible credit score, make like minimum wage, and no offense to any people, because sometimes that's not, of your own doing. We know things are messed up, so no offense. But you could be in that situation and buy like a $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 car right now. Like they'll sell you a car with anything all upgraded. And so I'm like, I said, V, they're expanding credit markets. And so, what I said, and V, you can expand on this because this is kind of more your territory than mine. But although I do have an econ degree, I guess I should know something. But but basically, what I see happening, and V came back with, they're doing, I guess they're doing liar loans again for homes in certain areas.
Yep.
They want to they want to expand credit. Like they're raising the rates right now. So Trump said some things and the Fed didn't raise rates this time, and everybody's going to talk all about that, but it really doesn't matter because they're saying they're going to raise the rates 3 or 4 times next year. And so now what I think is going to happen is they're going to just sell cars and they're going to sell houses, and all of the middlemen, all of the corporations, they're going to start clocking all their profits so they can put money in their war chest for when things actually do crash. And they will. But I think we're going to have a nice big up, and then I think we're going to have a little bit of a dump, and then like people, like all your big companies are going to be positioned to buy the bottom of that dump. And then that's when jobs are going to fall from the sky and you're going to have universal income. And, that's, I think, the worst case scenario, but I think that's possible. And I think they're going to really try to do the big crash probably in 2020 early so that they can make Trump look bad and get him out. I don't know. How does that resonate with you guys?
Yeah. I mean, anything can happen. They're gonna try and do a big crash. I think what's happening. I don't think the algos and what's controlling the algos is completely in the hands of nefarious individuals as they used to be. I don't like. I mean, there's a lot of crap that's happening right now, especially at the border. There's other details that I could go into, but I can't go into that right now. Maybe in the future date when I have some clearance and the go ahead to say what I need to say about it, then I'll definitely spill the beans. But I'm not worried about a crash. I'm not worried about a crash this year, next year, or even 2020. I think I ain't worried about nothing until 2025. To be honest with you.
Wow.
Well, shoot, let the good times roll because I'm going to be making some cash.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
I'll be stacking all kinds of cool stuff.
Yeah, and the only thing I would add to that is V's been saying this for a long time, while others were pointing to end dates that have long passed. And I've got the long-term buckets of emergency food to prove it.
Man, I too bought freeze-dried Baba Ganoush.
Yeah, V's mostly just laughed at me, and he's been right all along. So,
I
mean, when I came out, I mean, back in 2012, 2013, 2014, I was like, holy crap, this thing's going to come apart. It's the end of the world. This thing's going to unravel. Why? Because I was looking at the bloody metrics. And it's when you get out of looking at the metrics and the charts and you start looking at that everything is event driven and what's really happening behind the scenes, I'm like, whoa, wait a minute. This thing ain't crashing at all. And Dex is one of the guys who's first out there to say, hey, there's no market crash. It's not going to happen.
Actually, Dex, because I've looked into Dex a lot, he says the crash already happened.
And yeah, 2008.
2008, and I think he also said 9/11.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yes. He was on the trading floor when that happened.
Yeah, he said that metals literally became priceless that day.
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah, because people thought the world was ending. So, like, basically, they just rejiggered everything and they moved everything over to Jersey, and on computers do everything now.
That's exactly what they did. People go to Wall Street. People think Wall Street's in Wall Street. No, it's not. Wall Street's across the river in Weehawken and Hoboken and Jersey City. That's the real Wall Street is, and those server farms right across the street. That's where it's at. This thing is totally rigged. And once you figure out the whole damn thing is rigged, look, there's no real market. It's all make believe. But what I'm telling you guys to do is join in on the fun. Use the bubble to your advantage.
Yeah, well, it doesn't hurt to have storable food. I mean, natural disasters. I mean, I actually I dine on Whiskers about twice a month because I'm always prepared for the worst.
Very cool.
You get used to chowing down on some Alpo, like like I was some. Well, I don't want to say that. That's really rude. But what I will say is that I will do what I have to do with my trading abilities to make sure that my parents don't have to chow down on Alpo in their golden years.
Absolutely.
That's what I'll say. Yeah.
Very cool. Okay, so on to our regularly scheduled stuff. Do you want to talk about a couple trades we looked at this week? 2 or 3 recent trades, or even just one really good one since we've been on for a while already?
Sure. Well, I'll go to XLM and XRP, Ripple and Stellar.
Yep. Those were the themes of the room this week for sure.
Oh yeah, people are asking. Oh,
by the way, watchustrade.io, folks. Watchustrade.io.
Watchustrade.io. Yeah, Z again with the fundamentals. Called these two. I guess Stellar, Lumens, XLM, and Ripple XRP. They have a similar fundamental structure in a sense because their charts literally look just like each other if you look at the most recent weeks, and one tends to run with the other. Now, if you look at the dollar value, I actually, outside of leveraged markets, because I'm in the US and I can't play on BitMEX. I play on the BitMEX test net so I can practice, but officially I do not go on BitMEX for anybody who's listening. So outside of playing on BitMEX, the best thing I ever did was just stay in true USD. Because if you look at the coin market cap, I'm going to look it up right now, coinmarketcap.com. And then you bring up Ripple. Ripple's actually still going down. You bring up Stellar. Stellar is actually going down with a little crook up. But the only 2 coins really, I guess Ethereum has a little bit here, but only 2 coins have been doing a lot in the last few days are Stellar and Ripple, and you were actually able to catch a couple of rides up. Other than that, just staying in Tether has been great. I mean, Tether's, it's just linked to the dollar. So to go to the charts, Tether's just been a monster. I'm on the 4-hour now. I think Nekos, that's Z. I want to say he called it like down here.
You mean Ripple? You said Tether.
I meant Ripple. Forgive me. So this is your Ripple Bitcoin.
I was like, what's happening with Tether, man? All of a sudden, then I pull up my screen.
So this is your Ripple and Bitcoin pair. And so basically, I think Z called it around here after this flag, and it just rocketed up. I mean, this is back in September, and then he's called it again up here, and it has been just nothing but going up against Bitcoin. Yeah. And I want to say Z and Nekos and like the rest of the room who were entertained by Nekos got to watch Nekos catch all this. I caught some of it. I don't really play with Ripple very often. I have been charting Ripple lately because it seems as if the algos are relatively not turned on right now. So I'll trade Ripple. I got no problem trading it. But the problem is I don't like charting. Extremely unpredictable and manipulated. So I don't not trade it for more reasons. I just not trade it because of technical reason. I did call for everybody to see the perfect opportunity to actually short it right here based on a double top. Unfortunately, on the BitMEX test net, the not real trading, it actually stayed straight. It didn't go down. So then that happened with A to 2. So that's one thing to understand about the leverage markets. They're a bit manipulated on such small scale as crypto. So, and the large scale too. Right now it's consolidating, and I have my resistance here, as we talked about on Monday. It's perfect. It's perfect for what we're seeing. Essentially, this is looking very flaggish. It's been distorted by Bitcoin. So to come down to the 1 hour, so we can get a better look at that, we're essentially looking at a consolidation above this resistance, now flipped to support. This is called a structure swap. So it used to be a resistance, now it's a support, aka structure swap. Came down, retested that support, now it's headed up. It headed down because Bitcoin was headed up. So it really is just holding its value against Bitcoin, not so much in dollars. So for me, staying in true USD was maybe less fun, but I got to watch my sats grow just as quick as people who got into Ripple.
Right.
Those who were playing on the leveraged markets made a killing. So, those who are not from the United States and they're able to go on BitMEX and trade in the way that I was fake trading, because I put up my fake trades in there and I tell people, hey, leverage markets are dangerous. I don't play in them. But I just like to kind of have an exercise for academic purposes only. And there are the people who, do their own research. And, so that was actually profitable in an academic sense, those who went ahead and did the same research as me on these in the BitMEX market. XLM is not available there. So Stellar Lumens is not available in that sense. For people who don't like to say in, Tether or whatever, then that's, Stellar has been a good place for them. This is a 1 hour chart. So this big dump right here was Bitcoin's little games that it played this morning. Stellar is not quite as strong as Ripple, but a lot of people, according, who were entertained by Z's call. Z called a cup and handle, and I think he called it back here at the bottom or close to the middle of this handle. And it went from this kind of 4,000, 4,100 handle all the way up to 47. So that would be a 16% gain in Satoshi. So, and people who actually ride these little waves do better than if they just sit in Tether too. People who really are entertaining themselves in such a way that they can catch these runs. So yeah, those are the big winner calls that we've had, and I haven't looked 100% at the other rooms. I know Crypto Nekos has a better view on what's going on in the other rooms. I don't like looking at other people's TA. I just don't. I do my own TA. Other people's TA technical analysis just confuses me, and it makes me doubt my own stuff. So I tend to do better when I look at my own. Crypto Nekos doesn't have that same impediment that I do, so he will look at other people's TA and stuff, and he's in other rooms. We are outperforming in an entertainment sense every room out there. There is not another room right now that is putting out the level of calls that we are, that I know of. There may be some, I just don't know where they are.
Yeah, Z was saying that yesterday, that we're absolutely crushing it compared to other rooms that have essentially gone dark. And when we started, there was a very well-known room that had gone dark on a lot of people who ended up in our room. And apparently that trend continues, that as this market becomes more and more challenging, more and more braggadocious traders are becoming very, very quiet. But you guys are consistent with the TA, with the calls. It's been great.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, look, and even recently, like what we've been doing is almost and sometimes literally a 24-hour coverage, because I'm up at 3:45. Yesterday, I woke up early. Bitcoin was taking a nap, so I took a nap.
It's funny. You're in California. I'm in New York, and you'll be up before me, and then I just feel like such a loser.
No. I mean, look, here's the thing. If you're going to have somebody in like the trading world, then they should love trading. I love it. I love charting.
I know you do.
I have a problem. So I put that problem to good use, and here we are.
We're all grateful for your problem. We want to encourage your continued addiction.
Nice.
For our own selfish benefit.
Much appreciated.
Very cool. Those are very good trades this week. People were very excited about it.
And then
I caught a little bit of them, and they were cool. Very cool.
Nice, dude. Yeah, glad you were able to be so entertained.
Mm-hmm.
Before we go, I just wanted to briefly flash back to ATC for a live update for everybody. We are headed back down. So people who like I said, just a reminder because we talked at the beginning of the show, a lot of people hadn't come on. I'm up, like we just said, at 3:45. At about 4:30 in the morning, I logged in, and I've got my finger on the pulse, and I saw a couple of things. I saw that we had hit this 4,200, and we were just kind of floating around here. Now, lately, because everybody's too scared to buy, the price is just going to deflate. So a lot of capitulation in the market. However, I saw the algos flip on Bitfinex. So, and it's just by looking at executed trades, and you can also look at the spoofing orders and stuff, but the executing trades is key. And Bitfinex is where you got to look, because there was a tether print of $50 million, and we all know what happens when RSI is below 70 on the daily, and we see a large print of tether, and that tether gets moved over to Bitfinex. So the formula was there. Again, a lot of people entertained themselves. I actually stayed out of this trade, but I did predict that it would go up to 4,900. Was actually one of my cohorts was like, I think 4,900 and then 5,200. I did my own math on that, and it's legit. Here's your resistance there, and there's a little bit of action right here around the 5,300 mark. So and the 52. So those numbers I agreed with and concurred, and there you go, bounced right off. I drew this like before it happened, and I drew this before that happened. So like I say, it's good to be right. Just wanted to remind everybody of that before we got
well, I mean, that's pretty much where we were going. Is there any other are there any other how do I want to put it, any other factors that you're looking for to sort of take us through the week? This is a holiday week, of course. Unlike the stock market, cryptos don't shut down, but yeah, we do have Thanksgiving coming up. What are you looking for this week? Any particular news or any particular coin that is something you think is we should be watching as we go into the rest of the holiday week? This will be our last show for the week, by the way. This show, not V's shows. I'm sure V has V. I'm sure has 50 more shows to do this week.
Holy.
But for our last show of the week, Cowboy, what are you looking at? What are you going to be thinking about going into the holiday and weekend trading?
So
basically all eyes on Bitcoin and Ripple right now. Is that basically?
I would stick to Bitcoin personally. I mean, I don't. When Bitcoin's doing this kind of stuff, look, here's the philosophy I'm taking, and my trading evolves all the time. I'm always looking and learning, and at this point, I'm pretty much only taking trades that I would be comfortable walking away from.
Walking away meaning going to sleep without stop losses, that kind of thing.
No, going to sleep with stop losses, but being able to set a stop loss and walk away.
Gotcha. Okay.
So yeah, I would not NOT, not go to sleep without a stop loss, or I wouldn't walk away, or I wouldn't set a trade without a stop loss. I just don't. I don't care what other people do. I don't. So I have a trade, I have a target, I have a stop loss. I may have multiple targets, whatever those are. I set that and I walk away. If it hits a stop, it hits a stop. And that means that I'm not taking very many trades right now. There's something that I don't want to. This show is probably getting a little bit long in the tooth, but
okay. No, this is helpful. That's another thing about our room is, we don't go dark, but we don't force trades. And that is a major difference from my personal experience with other rooms. When things go bad, some guys will just go dark and say, yeah, we'll see what happens. We'll come back when this happens or when that happens.
I'll come back when Bitcoin is 11,300.
Yeah, right. You guys don't do that at all. In fact, you may be holding people's hands and saying, "Don't do it." Now's not a good time.
We don't hold. We may hold.
No, you say, "I'm not going to do it."
Yeah, we say, "I'm not going to." Yeah, because fortunately, Frank is not one of the people who is entertaining people in the room, because he probably would start giving financial advice. But no, we don't give. But here's the thing. There's one thing that I enjoy a little bit less than trading, and that's being in the room talking to the guys and gals in there. Love it. You guys will notice. I know Crypto Nikos has had some personal stuff this last couple weeks. He's dealing with some things that are like positive, but they're personal. So I've kind of been in the room a lot more these days than he has, and he's probably going to be flipping with me. So I get married, we're going to take a few days and all this stuff. So he's probably going to be the one in there. But the point is that so trading is not a job. Trading is trading. And I've had this talk a few times, and I'll try to make this short and sweet. But people who are hunting for trades, in my opinion, are making a mistake. So this is the thing. I got people asking, we can enter here, we're going to enter there. They're addicted. And it's great. It's great to be addicted to trading. I think it's also dangerous because there are not always times to trade. Even if you are in leverage markets, you're not in the United States and you're going on BitMEX and you've done all your research, even if you're taking shorts, there are not always times to trade. There are times when I've done my analysis, and there are times when I know if I get into an asset, I have a better than a 1-to-1 ratio and it meets all of my rules. And I know that if I were to enter and exit, I will have a profit most likely based on my probabilities. And that's what I do. But I don't hunt for trades. So there are a lot of people who basically they're not as entertained by that. And yes, our room is there to entertain, And one of the forms of entertainment is people watching us trade. And watching us trade often means watching us not trade, very actively not trade. And the reason that I'm not going to say what my trading bag is,
and this goes to what I said so woefully wrong before. You're constantly giving out your rationale for why you're not trading at that moment.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. It's not just to disappear. It's active. It's actively not trading.
Actively not trading. Like I pretty much say, because I trade Forex too. So, I trade Forex very actively. I trade equities too. In fact, I'm finding that I probably should have been trading equities the whole time because they're so much easier than Forex and crypto. But well, at least that's what it seems like. But the point is that I'm like always available for the most part. I mean, unless I'm sleeping or if I'm going to not be in the room for a while, it's like, okay, I'm not going to be in the room for a while. Like I'll announce it. Just because I'm not trading does not mean I'm not in the room. And there are usually opportunities to find trading. We found Ripple, we found XLM, everything else was dying. A lot of rooms are gone. They've gone dark. They're not answering the thing. My phone will ping if somebody has a question. My computer's usually open. I'm usually sitting in front of it. So yeah, we're like pretty much omnipresent in the room.
Yeah, folks, you want to be in there. WatchersTrade.io. These guys are great. They're the real deal. And we'd love to have you as part of our community. Also, I haven't mentioned it as much, but please, if you're listening on Rogue News or watching on Rogue News, please go into the description. We've got our own YouTube channel we're trying to build up so that we can live stream from it. It's a little bit of a pain, so we'd appreciate it if you would go in and subscribe to that channel. It would help us out.
There's one last bit too, like some of the entertainment that goes on. As I've discussed very briefly earlier, we have a team now of like 10 people in the room, and we're all back testing Bitcoin dumps.
Wow, cool.
Like that's about to happen right now. I don't know if you guys see this nice red candle going down. Like I think we're about to head down for another 100 or 2 at least. And that's on Bitfinex price at 44.90. So Coinbase is probably like 42.50 or so. I'd have to look. But the point is, I think we're going to head down right now. Let me take a brief look at some live update on Bitcoin as I live and breathe. Let's see here. Let's go to the 4 hour and let's shrink this up, expand that out. And this is Binance. Okay, so Binance it was roughly the same. We're going to go to
people are loving the True USD today. It's at $1.06.
I'm in True USD. Number of reasons. So yeah, we're at 42.23. So I'd say there's a psychological support at 4,000 that we might play around at or not. I mean, your next big order blocks, and this is probably something people are going to want to know before we stop the show here. But let me just briefly figure this out. People are going to want to know how low can it go. So let me do a quick clear here. So we're at a bit of a support now, like a real weak one right there, where there's 2 kind of points of contact right here and here. And I'm going back to like December here. There's a weak support-ish around 41.08. This is Coinbase price, I think. No, it's Bitfinex. All right. So let's do BTC. Yeah, I like to go Coinbase. Coinbase is, in my opinion, is the way to look, although Bitfinex is becoming more important. So our supports would be our weak support here, roughly at 41.32, which is where we're at, basically there. The next stop down is 3,000. So, I mean, support-wise, there's a little bit of play in here. There's a tiny bit of play around like the 3,600 handle. So we might see something there. But aside from, bots or games or news or something, the 3,000 has been a lot of people's hard bottom, and that makes sense. You have a lot of play in 3,000. It's a healthy run up and a retest. So that's where I'll leave it, guys.
Yeah, hard bottom's what they called me in college. Really? So that's interesting. So what are you thinking though? You think we're gonna hit the hard bottom?
I think so. I mean,
this time?
Yeah, it's possible. I mean, I think there would have to be like market intervention of some kind for that not to happen at this point with what we've just seen and with price action as it is. I mean, there are some toe holds on the way down that we could stop at. There's a decent amount of play at this like 3,500 handle. So I mean, it's possible. Remember, we're talking Coinbase prices, so there's probably a $200 disparity between that and like Bitfinex or Binance.
Yep. And people can get the rest of the story as it unfolds at watchustrade.io. So hop in there, folks. Now's the time. I'd love to have you.
Oh, and by the way, the inside guys are saying that the springboard is being loaded. I got word this morning from some of my suppliers and kind of the bigger people in the background that V and I talked to, that there's an expectation. We don't know exactly when. It could be next week. It could be in a few months. 15K. That's some people's expectation of what, and it's going to go quick. They're saying it's going to springboard.
Wow.
To 15K, and it's going to happen like 3 major moves, and each major move is going to take like, a few hours.
And this is the time when the weak hands all get out, when they should be getting in. They should be learning to trade. They should be looking for opportunities, and they get depressed. They quit. Not the right time, folks. Now's the time to get engaged because things are happening here. So,
all right, thanks, man.
With that, thank you,
Proper
Cowboy.
12.
Proper 12. With that, we'll bounce it back to the other notorious, the notorious ape.
I'm the notorious glorious.
The notorious glorious ape.
Yes,
your daughter tied up in a Brooklyn basement.
Not guilty. That's how I stay filthy. I move like roast beef. My name is Biggie.
You just got to put like a sandwich in your mouth when you rap. You sound like.
I'll eat all kinds of roast beef with the cheese. I make the cut stelos like my name is Keys in the deli. Fill my belly.
Wow. Brunches, interviews by the pool. Consider the
dropped out of high school. I'm working on it. That was my off the top Biggie right there.
Wow. Got a slightly
that's Biggie. Okay, I didn't know what.
Not bad, right? Not too bad.
Slightly better.
He always does that. Lyrical genius, man. Lyrical genius. The rap game is a joke. They're all turning in their graves right now.
I can't play any of my wedding though because it's too vulgar and it's on church grounds.
Oh yes, you can't. Yeah, you can play the radio edit if you want.
I can play the radio edit.
Yeah. What song would you play though? Hypnotize?
Oh yeah, I would absolutely play Hypnotize. Actually, it's not my favorite. Everybody's favorite will be Hypnotize. I'll probably play like It's All Good. Probably play Juicy. Probably play, One More Time is what that's called.
Oh yeah, come on, it's a classic.
Yeah, dude. I mean, I like to. I would love to play the 10 Crack Commandments. That's not going to happen.
Ain't gonna happen. It's a shame what's happened to the rap game. Rap game's been turned gay, bro.
Oh no, Takeshi 69, model citizen looking.
Oh god, that rainbow bright looking idiot! I'd punch him in his face. He calls himself.
You heard he got set up and ganked, right?
Got what?
He got set up and ganked by his own security.
Oh, that's beautiful. Did they kill him?
He fired his security, and then they ended up coming back and they set him up and ganked him. They took I think it was they got into his house, they like brutalized him and his woman, and then they took I think it was like $35,000 in jewelry, and like I think he had like $750,000 in cash. They pistol whipped him. I mean that guy's in videos like doing lewd things to children. That guy choked somebody out of crap. The piece of filth. And so as far as
he's in videos doing things to children.
Dude, he's a convicted pedophile.
Yeah,
jeez,
pederast or whatever. He's not a good person.
No,
God help us.
Yeah,
disgusting. Dude.
Yeah, Biggie. I don't think Biggie done things like that. And if he did it,
never. No, man. It's they're cut from a different cloth. It's a different time.
Papa.
Yeah.
That's
what it is. That's what it is. Anyway, guys, thank you all for joining us. We're out.
Later.
Peace out. Cub Scout.
Laters.